family, I hope you all are excited. These are exciting times. We're here at the North Day Regional Library, and this is one of the major voting sites in the great city of Miami Gardens. And we hope you're excited about this year's elections and the voting. If you haven't voted already, which I hope you have, but if you haven't voted already, I'm assuming you're on your way to vote. And if you're not on your way to vote, if you absolutely choose to vote on election day, then be careful, be patient, be diligent, and make it happen. Let's talk briefly about what's at stake. If it's not painfully evident to each and every one of you, let's articulate it a little bit. What's really at stake? The entire direction of this country, the character, integrity, and content of this country depends on you. Which direction do you want it to go in? Vote in that direction. You have an opportunity to change things. We have an opportunity to talk about and make a difference on what type of president you want. Ask yourself that as a voter. What type of president do I want? This country is founded on the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Do you want a president that is held accountable by those three branches? Or do you want a president with autonomous power? One that can do anything he or she wants to do. You have an opportunity to make an obligation to determine what type of president you want.
As a mom and small business owner, Annette Tadeo is running for clerk and comptroller to protect our tax dollars and achieve reforms. Annette Tadeo will regionalize the clerk's office, modernize technology services, and expand services to offer passport renewals. In Tallahassee, Fernandez-Barquin voted for $1 billion in new sales taxes, took away our local control, and lowered wages on working families. Juan Fernandez-Barquin, dangerous and reckless.
And to talk a little bit about what that power means when we talk about autonomy, that means power, complete power over the military, complete power over the police, influential power, if not complete power over the states, and even your very lives, the budget, the money, where money is spent. So we've got an opportunity to make a difference and determine what type of government this democracy will hold. I've had an opportunity to walk around this voting site, engage with some of the voters. I mean, it's a vibrant, lively site. There's music, there's DJs, there's information, and the people are excited. The people are involved, those who are here. Those who are not here, I'm not sure why you're not here. If you've already voted, great. If you're on your way, great. But be a part of the process. But there's an active environment here, one that's conducive, one that encourages involvement. And we've had an opportunity to speak to a couple of the people, not about who they're voting for, but about the importance of being involved in the process. And I like the energy, I like the vibe, I like everything I'm hearing, young and old, every culture, every demographic. And this is just a microcosm of what you're seeing throughout the state and throughout this country. So again, these pivotal, exciting, influential, life-changing times that we're engaged in is an opportunity for us to make a difference. This site is full of political signs, people running for office. The parking lot is full. We've had rain. The elements have not been kind, but the people are still coming. Nobody's discouraged, nobody's turning around. The people are engaged. There's tents set up. There's multicultural languages being spoken here. And so this is an opportunity, an invitation for everybody to be a part of this process. It's a welcoming environment. Please understand that this is the local impact. Again, I said we're in the great city of Miami Gardens, but on the local elections, infrastructure, roads, water and sewer systems, schools, all of these things are impacted by these local elections, and they are critically important. Elected today.
Trusted by our leaders, J.C. Planas has the trusted leadership to serve as our elected supervisor of elections. A father and husband, J.C. Plana has 15 years of experience to protect the integrity of our elections. Alina Garcia. She is plagued by scandals, was issued subpoenas as former Republican Congressman David Rivera, faces criminal investigation, and is indicted for working with Madura's corrupt government. Alina Garcia's circle. Madura money infiltrating Miami-Dade. Too cozy with corrupt politicians to serve as our supervisor of elections.
So the local impact is huge, and then multiply that local impact throughout this country to get a real impact and a feeling for what's going on. And listen, family, be cognizant of the pulse, because this is not just about a presidential elections. Midterms are going to follow. Less than a year and a half away, midterms are going to follow. And so I mentioned earlier the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Please understand that the House and Senate have as much impact on our daily lives as any president. So you have a responsibility as an adult. You have an obligation. You have no right to sit back and be oblivious. You have no right to say I'm not engaged. You have no right to say my vote doesn't matter. You have an obligation to participate. You owe it to the next generation. You owe it to the people who suffered and came before you. You cannot lay back and say it doesn't matter. It matters. Your involvement matters. Can we address the elephant in the room? No pun intended. Can we address the elephant in the room? This election has a black female running for president. We've already had a black president, so we're past that evolution. But the elephant in the room is that she is running against a male, white male, far right, part of the establishment, elderly gentleman. Maybe age is your hang-up, maybe race is your hang-up, maybe sex is your hang-up. We're going to be confronted with all of those in this election. And it's a time to stand up and take a position. You don't have a right to run and hide. You can't run and hide. Take a position. This is a pivotal election, and it's going to be a game changer. I watched Obama's first term, and I watched a good man, I watched a good president be stopped on every point by the House and Senate. So it's not enough to have a good person in, you need a good process. You have an obligation to bring a good person into office and to contribute to the good process, a good democratic process. Don't think we have it now, we're trying to get there. As we prepare to close, I want to just leave you with the full impact of this election. We're not endorsing any particular candidate. I voted already. So we're not pushing you to the right or pushing you to the left. We're pushing you to engage in the process. We're not, again, I say, we're not endorsing anybody. We're encouraging you to be a part of this process and to be a difference maker. We're making room for our next generation. Regardless of who the next president is, I assure you, we're gonna survive. We are a surviving people. I've survived many presidents. I promise you I'll be around whomever the president is. But if I want to make a difference, if I want to be a game changer, if I want to be a difference maker, I'll get involved in this process, make my voice heard, and steer this ship in the direction that I believe it ought to be going in. That's what we're requiring of you right now. Not just for Tuesday, November the 5th, but for every election that follows, for midterms, for local, school board, every election that follows, be a part of the process. Family, we love you. Thanks for being a part of this process. God bless you, and God bless America.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know, because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.